In this video, we will walk into a truth that has echoed through ancient temples, mystical writings, and now into the most advanced scientific discussions of our time. Reality is not fixed, time is not linear, and you are far more than an observer. You are a participant in the creation of the world you live in. This is the art of quantum manifesting. It is not a trick, not a ritual, not a superstition. It is the practice of aligning your inner world so completely with the reality you desire that the quantum field, the very fabric of existence, must rearrange to match you. Most people approach manifestation as if they are trying to persuade life to give them what they want. They pile on affirmations, rituals, vision boards, all in an effort to make something happen. But the truth is, the universe does not respond to effort. It responds to alignment. The moment you become the person who already lives your desired reality, in thought, in feeling, in nervous system state, in action, you no longer have to chase it. You meet it. And in that meeting, the shift is not gradual. It can be instantaneous. What makes this different from traditional manifestation teachings is the understanding that we are working with the fundamental laws of physics, not wishful thinking. When Einstein said, "God does not play dice with the universe," he was pointing to something profound. There is an underlying order, a field of infinite possibility that responds to consciousness itself. The ancient mystics knew this. The Hermetic texts speak of the all-mind, from which all reality emerges. The Vedic seers described consciousness as the ground of being. Now, quantum physics is proving what the ancients always knew. Consciousness and reality are intimately connected. Over the next 10 lessons, we will explore the spiritual roots, the quantum science, and the practical application of this art. You will learn how to regulate the body so it allows change, how to use identity and emotion as the strongest creative tools you have, and how people make quantum leaps, like going from broke to wealthy in months, without forcing or burning out. This is not theory for the mind alone. It is wisdom for your whole being. We will dive deep into the mechanics of reality creation, understanding not just what to do, but why it works and how to master it completely. Let us begin. Lesson 1. The quantum field, the infinite canvas. If we could strip back the layers of reality, past the skin, the cells, the atoms, we would enter a realm that looks nothing like the solid world we see. At the subatomic level, particles do not sit still like marbles in space. They exist as shimmering waves of possibility. They can be here and there at the same time, in many states at once, until they are observed. This is the observer effect. The act of observation collapses possibility into one concrete reality. This invisible ocean of possibility is what physicists call the quantum field. Every possible version of you already exists here. The one who is healthy, the one who is sick, the one who is wealthy, the one who is struggling. Ancient teachings hinted at this. The Vedas called the physical world Maya, a projection shaped by consciousness. Hermetic philosophy declares the all is mind. In Buddhism, all form is said to be empty until awareness gives it meaning. But here's what most people don't understand. The quantum field is not passive. It's responsive. It's alive with intelligence. When quantum physicists discovered that particles behave differently when observed, they uncovered something revolutionary. Consciousness plays an active role in determining reality. The field contains infinite potential, but it requires conscious observation to collapse that potential into actual experience. Think of the quantum field as an infinite library containing every possible story that could ever be written about your life. Right now, you're reading one particular story, your current reality, but all the other stories exist simultaneously on different shelves. Quantum manifesting is the art of consciously choosing which story to read, which reality to experience. You're not creating something from nothing, you're selecting from infinite possibilities that already exist. To imagine the quantum field, think of it as an infinite canvas. Every thought, feeling, and choice you make is a brushstroke. You're not trapped in one painting. You can choose to paint over it, start a new one, or step into an entirely different piece. Quantum manifesting begins the moment you realize you are the artist, not the spectator. The canvas is always fresh, always ready for your next creation. Lesson 2. Frequency, your personal broadcast. The quantum field holds infinite possibilities, but you can only experience the ones that match your vibration. Every thought you think sends out an electrical signal. Every emotion you feel adds a magnetic charge. Together, they form your personal frequency, the broadcast you are constantly sending into the universe. Modern science has proven that thoughts are measurable electrical impulses. When you think, neurons fire in specific patterns, creating electromagnetic fields that extend beyond your physical body. These fields interact with the quantum field, essentially programming which possibilities you'll experience. This isn't metaphysical speculation, it's measurable physics. The law of resonance says like attracts like. If you broadcast fear, you align with timelines where fear is justified. If you broadcast gratitude, you step into realities where more arrives to be grateful for. As Rumi wrote, what you seek is seeking you. But seeking is not just longing, it is aligning. Think of tuning a radio. If you want to hear 101.1 FM, you don't leave the dial at 88.9 and hope for the best. You align with the frequency you want. In the same way, to change your reality, you must tune your thoughts, emotions, and beliefs to the frequency of the life you desire. That doesn't mean pretending. It means generating, within your body, the emotional state of the version of you who already has it. Here's the crucial understanding. Your frequency is not just what you think about occasionally, it's your dominant state of being. If you spend 5 minutes visualizing abundance, but 23 hours and 55 minutes feeling lack, your dominant frequency is lack. The field responds to your consistent vibration, not your occasional intentions. This is why traditional positive thinking often fails. Repeating affirmations while your nervous system is locked in survival mode creates internal conflict. Your words say one thing, but your energy says another. The field always responds to your energy, not your words. True frequency alignment happens when your thoughts, emotions, beliefs, and nervous system state all coherently broadcast the same signal. Lesson 3. The nervous system, the silent gatekeeper. Here lies one of the biggest reasons people fail to manifest. Their nervous system will not allow them to hold the new reality. You can visualize wealth, love, or health all day long, but if your body is locked in fight, flight, or freeze, your subconscious is sending a louder signal. It's not safe. The nervous system is like a sophisticated security system that's constantly scanning for threats. It remembers every experience of scarcity, rejection, or danger. If wealth once brought conflict, or love once brought abandonment, your system will avoid them no matter what your mind says. This is why some people sabotage opportunities without knowing why. Their body is protecting them from a perceived threat. Your nervous system operates on a simple principle: keep you alive. It doesn't care about your dreams or desires, it cares about your survival. If your past experiences have taught it that success is dangerous, love is painful, or visibility brings attack, it will unconsciously steer you away from these experiences, even if they're exactly what you consciously want. This is why trauma work and nervous system regulation are not optional in manifestation, they're foundational. You cannot consistently hold a frequency that your nervous system perceives as unsafe. The moment you try to step into a new reality, your system will activate stress responses that pull you back to familiar territory. Regulation is the bridge. Breathwork, meditation, grounding in nature, and somatic release send a clear message to the body. We are safe now. This is not optional self-care, it is signal tuning. A regulated nervous system can hold the higher frequency of your desired reality without collapsing back into old patterns. The most effective nervous system regulation happens through the body, not the mind. Your nervous system speaks the language of sensation, not logic. Slow, deep breathing activates the parasympathetic nervous system. Cold exposure builds resilience. Movement releases trapped energy. These practices literally rewire your system to feel safe in expansion rather than contraction. Lesson 4. Identity. Becoming the person who has it. You do not manifest what you want, you manifest who you are. Identity is the deep, often unconscious story you tell yourself about yourself. If your identity is, I am someone who always struggles, you will unconsciously reject anything that contradicts it. If your identity is, I am a creator of value and abundance, you will naturally notice and act on opportunities that match. Identity operates at a level deeper than conscious thought. It's the lens through which you interpret every experience, the filter that determines what you notice and what you ignore. Your identity shapes your perception, and your perception shapes your reality. Change your identity, and you will change what's possible for you. Most people try to change their circumstances while keeping the same identity. They want more money while still seeing themselves as not good with money. They want love while still believing they're not worthy of love. This creates internal conflict that the quantum field reflects back as mixed results or no results at all. Changing identity is not pretending, it is consciously choosing a new lens. Ask, how does the version of me who already has this think, speak, and act? Then begin living that way, even in the smallest choices. If the abundant version of you would negotiate confidently, do it now. If the healthy version of you would walk in the morning, start today. Each action is a vote for the new self. Enough votes, and your nervous system accepts this as truth. Once that happens, the field must reflect it back. The key is to start with micro-identities, small, believable shifts that your system can accept. Instead of jumping from "I'm broke" to "I'm a millionaire," you might first become someone who values money or someone who makes good financial decisions. Each small identity shift creates evidence that supports the larger transformation. Your identity is also reinforced by your environment and relationships. If everyone around you knows you as the struggling artist or the unlucky in love person, their expectations can keep you locked in that identity. Sometimes changing your reality requires changing your environment or setting new boundaries with people who can't see your new self. Lesson 5. Emotional alchemy. Feeling the future now. Thoughts send the signal, but emotions give it power. The field responds most strongly to embodied feelings. Gratitude, joy, love. These states say, "This is my reality." Doubt, fear, and lack say the same, but for a different reality. Emotions are not just feelings. They're electromagnetic signatures that communicate directly with the quantum field. When you feel grateful, your heart generates a coherent electromagnetic field that extends several feet beyond your body. This field carries information about your state of being and attracts experiences that match that frequency. One of the most potent techniques is gratitude before the event. When you can feel genuinely thankful for your desire before it manifests, you collapse the gap between wanting and having. This is not about faking. It's about giving your body a real taste of the desired future now. The secret is specificity. Instead of generic gratitude, feel thankful for specific details of your desired reality. If you want a new home, don't just feel grateful for a house. Feel grateful for the morning light streaming through the kitchen window, the sound of your footsteps on the hardwood floors, the smell of coffee brewing in your dream kitchen. The more specific and sensory your gratitude, the more precisely you program the field. Close your eyes. Picture one vivid, ordinary moment from your dream life. Maybe it's making coffee in your dream home, holding your book, laughing with your partner. See the colors, hear the sounds, feel the textures. Stay with it until your body reacts. A smile, a sigh of contentment, a loosening of tension. That embodied state is a precise broadcast to the field. Emotional alchemy also involves transmuting lower frequency emotions rather than suppressing them. Fear can become excitement. Anger can become passion. Sadness can become compassion. The goal isn't to never feel negative emotions, but to use them as fuel for transformation rather than staying stuck in them. Lesson 6. Quantum jumping, the physics of instant change. Quantum jumping is when you shift into a new reality so fast it feels miraculous. At the quantum level, all versions of you exist now. A jump happens when you match the frequency of a different version so completely that your old timeline can no longer hold you. The concept of quantum jumping comes from the observation that electrons can move from one energy level to another without passing through the space in between. They simply disappear from one level and appear at another. This same principle applies to consciousness and reality. You can shift from one life experience to another without gradually transitioning through all the steps in between. The sequence is consistent. First, an unshakable decision, not a wish, but a vow. This decision must come from your core, not just your mind. It's the kind of decision that changes everything because it changes you at the identity level. Second, full embodiment of the new identity, thinking, speaking, and acting as if it's already done. This isn't pretending, it's stepping into the version of you that already exists in the quantum field. Third, nervous system regulation, so your body feels safe in the new reality. Your nervous system must be convinced that this new reality is not only possible, but safe. Fourth, coherent broadcasting, clear intention paired with elevated emotion, practiced daily. This creates a consistent signal that the field can respond to. Fifth, immediate action on the bridges the field sends, those sudden opportunities, ideas, or invitations. The field will test your commitment by sending you chances to prove you're serious about the change. Sixth, surrender, releasing control over how and when it arrives. This paradox of total commitment combined with complete surrender is what allows quantum jumps to occur. You must care deeply about the outcome while being unattached to the process. This is how people go from broke to millionaire in months. They stop resonating with the broke identity entirely, and they align every thought, feeling, and action with wealth until it becomes the only reality the field can reflect. They don't gradually build wealth, they quantum jump into a reality where wealth already exists. Lesson 7. Bridges of Causality, the universe's invitations. Once your vibration aligns with your desired reality, the field will begin to send you bridges, opportunities that lead you directly to it. These might be conversations, a sudden impulse to call someone, a chance encounter, or a random piece of information. Bridges are the field's way of creating a path between your current reality and your desired one. They often appear as synchronicities, meaningful coincidences that seem too perfect to be random. The person you need to meet shows up at exactly the right moment. The information you need appears just when you're ready for it. The opportunity you've been waiting for presents itself in an unexpected way. They may seem small, but they are the stepping stones between your current timeline and your chosen one. Your task is to act on them quickly, before old patterns pull you back. Every bridge you cross strengthens your new identity and tells the field you are serious. Ignore them, and you stay in the old loop. Follow them, and the shift accelerates. The key is learning to recognize bridges when they appear. They often come disguised as inconveniences, challenges, or things that take you out of your comfort zone. The job interview that scares you, the conversation that feels awkward, the investment that requires faith. Your logical mind might resist these opportunities, but your intuition will recognize them as bridges. Bridges also require courage. They ask you to act before you feel ready, to trust before you have proof, to step forward before you can see the whole path. This is why many people miss their bridges. They're waiting for certainty in a process that requires faith. Lesson 8. The power of simplicity and clarity. Manifestation slows when your signal is scattered. Chasing multiple desires, switching identities, or trying dozens of techniques at once sends mixed messages. The field responds best to a steady, coherent frequency. In our culture of endless options and constant stimulation, we often think more is better. More goals, more techniques, more information. But in manifestation, clarity and focus are far more powerful than complexity and quantity. A scattered signal creates scattered results. Choose one primary intention, commit to the identity that matches it, feel it daily, act on the bridges that appear, release the rest. Simplicity is not limitation, it is amplification. A laser can cut through steel because its light is focused. Your manifestation works the same way. This doesn't mean you can only have one desire in your entire life. It means focusing on one primary intention until it manifests, then moving to the next. When you try to manifest everything at once, you dilute your signal and confuse the field. When you focus on one thing with complete clarity and commitment, you create a coherent signal that the field can easily respond to. Clarity also means being specific about what you want and why you want it. Vague desires create vague results. I want to be happy is too general. I want to wake up every morning excited about my work, feeling deeply connected to my purpose, and knowing that I'm making a meaningful contribution to the world is specific enough for the field to work with. Lesson 9. Trust and letting go. Trust is the highest form of manifestation mastery. When you trust, you tell the field, it's already done. When you obsess or doubt, you send the opposite signal, it's not here yet. Letting go is not giving up on your desire. It is being so certain of it that you can live fully in the present. Trust is perhaps the most challenging aspect of manifestation because it requires faith in the unseen. You must believe in your desired reality before you have physical evidence of it. This goes against everything our logical mind has been trained to do. We're taught to believe what we see, but in manifestation, we must see what we believe. The paradox of manifestation is that you must care deeply about your desire while being completely unattached to when and how it arrives. This isn't indifference, it's confidence. It's the difference between desperately needing something to happen and knowing it will happen. Trust allows the field to use paths your mind could never predict. The less you grip the how and when, the more space you give the universe to surprise you. Live as if your manifestation is inevitable, because in the quantum field, it already exists. When doubt arises, remember that doubt is just old programming trying to keep you safe in familiar territory. Acknowledge it without fighting it, then return to your knowing. Trust is not the absence of doubt, it's choosing faith despite doubt. And Lesson 10, living as a conscious creator. To live as a conscious creator is to stop waiting for proof and start being the proof. You choose your vibration deliberately. You regulate your nervous system daily. You embody the identity of your future self now. You feel gratitude before the event. You act on the bridges. You trust completely. Living as a conscious creator means taking full responsibility for your reality, not in a way that creates guilt or shame, but in a way that empowers you to change what you don't like. When you truly understand that you are creating your reality through your consciousness, you stop being a victim of circumstances and start being the author of your experience. This level of responsibility can feel overwhelming at first. It means that everything in your life, the good and the challenging, is somehow a reflection of your consciousness. But this is also the most empowering realization possible, because it means you have the power to change anything you don't like. Every moment is a choice point. Vibrate with the past or with the future you desire. The Hermetic principle says, as within, so without. The reality you want is not far away. It is here, in the field, waiting for you to match it. Conscious creation is not about perfection. You don't need to maintain a high vibration every moment of every day. You just need to return to your chosen frequency more often than you stay in old patterns. Progress, not perfection, is what creates lasting change. So breathe. Feel into the frequency of that version of you. Step forward, not as someone hoping for change, but as someone who knows it has already happened. This is quantum manifesting, and it begins the moment you decide to live from your highest frequency. In conclusion, the journey of quantum manifesting is ultimately a journey of remembering who you truly are. You are not a small, separate being hoping for scraps from an indifferent universe. You are consciousness itself, temporarily focused through human experience, with the power to create realities that match your highest vision. The field is not separate from you. You are the field, experiencing itself through your unique perspective. When you fully embody this truth, manifestation becomes as natural as breathing. You stop trying to get something from the universe and start expressing something through it. You become a conscious collaborator in the creation of reality, dancing with the field in an eternal dance of possibility and manifestation.